Hello and welcome back to Suspended Animation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And this time around, it's the Amazon Prime animated series, The Legend of Vox Machina. So before we get started here, let me take care of some business first, then we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button. And if you don't want to be notified by YouTube, what you should do is hit that bell down below and you won't be notified when I come on live. But if you do want to know when I'm going to come on live, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule up there. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media on there and all the links to my pages, like Facebook. I got a couple different Facebook pages. One is just the regular news stuff, and then the other one is one where you guys can interact and post and all that kind of stuff, interact amongst yourselves. So, with that said, I'm going to do the non spoiler version of this show. So, what is this show? I actually had to look it up myself how it all started because it looked like there was a little more backstory to it than it actually was. And there was a little bit more backstory to it than there actually was. Um, the this all started from a bunch of voice actors getting together and playing Dungeons and Dragons, and they actually started recording this. And it's a series called Critical Role, ROLE. So the world that they created in season one, and the characters they created have made their way over to this animated series, which was crowdfunded. So there's 12 episodes in the first season here. So far, only 9 have been premiered at the moment. And 10 of those episodes have been crowdfunded. The last 2, of course, by Amazon, I believe, is where we're going on this. So, and also Titmouse is the animation company. So Titmouse is where the home of like the Venture Brothers are, Robot Chicken, things of that nature. That's all over at Titmouse is where they're at. And so what is this whole series kind of sort of about? It's a group of people in a fantasy setting. Uh, you have like, you know, uh, gnomes and you have elves, things of that nature, humans as well, that kind of stuff. And they're doing like it's like a D&D campaign, like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, only animated, but it's got a lot of comedy to it, a lot of gore to it as well, and a lot of f-bombs are dropped, and there's some nudity as well. So it's not for kids. Keep your kids away from it, because it's definitely not a kids unless you're a bad parent, then you're on your own on that one. Um, yo, what it do? So I don't know what you're talking about there, word 789. Um, it's just the only thing I can say is it's unlike anything you've seen before. It's like if you've been playing D&D with your friends and you get drunk and you guys go out on a campaign and just start making some really weird ass characters and weird ass decisions while you're doing these kind of campaigns. It's funny. It's well animated. It's got a lot of quality voice actors in there too. I mean, there are people that you know that are in this. And David Tennant is actually in the first 3 episodes, I believe, is what it is. So yeah, so it's not invincible animation, although it is. Titmouse actually, I believe, does invincible as well, if I'm not mistaken. So, or maybe not. No, I don't think they do. They don't do it. But it is a really good animation style. They do a good job of it. It's gory, like I said, it's got some gore to it. It's got some drama to it, of course, but there's comedy as well. It's very well done, and it's got a lot of depth to the story. So, is it worth your time? Yes, it's worth your time. They're only half-hour episodes. They're dropping 3 a week, so they're going to drop the last 3 on Friday. That's usually when they drop those things out. Usually it's Thursday night, somewhere around there. So it's worth your time. Give it a shot if you're into Dungeons and Dragons. If you just want to see some comedy and see some, uh, some good storytelling too, it's worth it as well. It definitely is. It's not the Tolkien kind of fantasy. So it's not based on a comic. It's actually, like I said, it's based on this game that a bunch of voice actors were playing, this Dungeons and Dragons campaign, and it's characters that they've created while they're playing this. Critical Role is the name of the show that the voice actors were doing. So yeah, ROLE, not ROLL. So with that said, spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it, or the series, I should say, because you're up to 9 episodes now at this point. And you can come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. All right. I'm giving you enough time to go away. All right. You can hit the pause button. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah, we're at 79. Amazon did a horrible job of advertising, as they normally do. I mean, they really suck at advertising. Really, really, really suck at advertising. I only kind of heard about it like just before it released. I saw the trailer for it, started laughing. I actually tried mentioning it here on Saturday Morning Blast Off, if I remember correctly, and I think it kind of fell on deaf ears for the most part. But it's yes, it is pretty damn funny. I mean, you've got a lot of voice actors in this. Ashley Johnson, who of course was in Family Ties at the very beginning of it, she actually came in as the daughter. She's been in other stuff. I mean, she's done tons of voice work as well. Like I said, David Tennant is in there. Stephanie Beatriz, who's of course on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Carrie Payton, of course, who's on Walking Dead. Tony Hale is in this. Uh, there's a bunch of voice actors that are in this, as well as the people that started all of this, who are in themselves. They've done bunch and bunch of voice work over the years in different animation. Um, so they are a team of, I guess you could say, fuck ups for the most part. They all have their own backstory, and they kind of fumble through whatever quests they're going on, and that's kind of what makes them endearing a bit. And in the first season here, we're kind of caught up in Percy DeRollo's his own personal demons, if you will, and literally demons, because they are vampires that have taken over his. He was royalty at one point, and these vampires took over his entire country, his entire estate, if you will, and all the people in it. And they go to, of course, take them out. That's one of the things that Vox Machina has done in order to clear their name. Uh, what was that? CBM? Who doesn't love a good fuck up? Oh, and by the way, one of the gnomes, Scanlon. Scanlon is just a womanizing, gnome who likes to sing and is very freaky and talks a lot about anal beads. Yeah. And he has a song, I believe it's in the third episode, that is just fucking hilarious. I'm going to leave you to it to see it if you haven't already, because it's a catchy song. And I would say, like, The Witcher on acid is what this is. Yeah. Yeah, I know Amazon lets the word of mouth do all the work, but it really sucks they do that, because then good shows actually don't make it and get canceled, and then people find it later and like, what, man? Only one season? Why? It's because you didn't watch it the first time. Like, I never heard of Critical Role. I'm actually going to go and search that out, see if I can find it someplace and watch it, because they got 300 and some odd episodes of that. I know it's just voice actors sitting around playing D&D, but it sounds interesting the way they're doing it. I normally don't go for that kind of shit where you've got people playing D&D and D and you're watching them. It just doesn't fly with me. Yeah. Is Scanlon bisexual? Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, he he says he was talking to that guy with that other guy, and like he wanted a threesome with them. Yes. Yes. That wasn't the first time he was talking about that to other people. Yeah. And other guys. Yes. So yeah, he definitely is. Yeah. Especially with that song he was singing in the third episode. I'm not gonna say what the song is just because, I'm gonna leave you to it. So the animation's good, the story's good. I'm waiting to see how this is going to end. It looks like it's actually gonna be pretty decent. And there's also something that was interesting that so Percy DeRollo he uses science. I mean, there's also magic that's being used as well, but Percy has kind of merged science and magic for his revenge, and he gets enveloped by this black mist, if you will, when he's taking out revenge on the people that killed his family. And he has this gigantic revolving gun. It looks like a gigantic revolving shotgun, is what like a revolver shotgun, but it's got the names of all the people that have who killed his family on the sides of all the barrels. And as he kills one, the name magically disappears off of the barrel. And supposedly, so he mentions five people that wronged him and his family and killed his family, and there's 6 barrels on the gun, and someone actually mentioned at one point, "But there's 6 barrels. Who's the 6th barrel for?" And I'm fairly sure we're gonna find that out in episode 12, in that it's gonna be ending up for Percy because of the thing that he has enveloping him, that black mist. I'm sure it's nothing good, shall we say. Um, and I mean, they have some really interesting characters. One of the gnomes, Pike Trickfoot, who is their healer. She goes off on her own quests because she can no longer access what's called the light in order to heal people. And so she goes off on this quest, and her arc is actually fairly interesting too. It's actually really good. So we get a little bit of everybody there. And then, of course, we got the sisters, or the brother sister, twin elves, Vex and Vax. And whenever they ask, you're Vex, I'm Vax. She's Vex, he's Vax. Yeah, which is pretty funny. And of course, Grog. I mean, you can't miss Grog. Grog is this gigantic Hulk, if you will, with an axe. And yeah, as he gets angry, of course, he goes on a killing rampage. And then finally, of course, we have Keyleth, who is, I guess you could say, like a wood elf or a wood nymph. I don't know exactly what she is, but she's from another dimension, and she can't go back to her kingdom unless she does something big or good or something like that. We don't know exactly what it is, but we just know she says she can't return unless she does something substantial. But she's also magic as well. Yes, and they have a bear. Thank you. I forgot about the bear. Yeah, the bear is actually pretty funny. So Vex and Vax, the twins, she's actually really good at archery, and her arrows are magic as well. And then Vax, I believe, is Vax the guy? I've always got to take a look. Yeah, Vax is the guy. That's right. So yes, Vex is the girl, the woman. So Vax, he has a dagger that he's always throwing, and the dagger, whenever it hits, it disappears and then reappears in his hand again. So that's the magic that he's got there. So yeah, it's actually a lot of fun. It covers a lot of D&D tropes, if you will, and then also just makes their own up as well. So there's dragons, there's vampires, there are zombies. There's lots of stuff that's in this show that if you are a fan anywhere near of D&D or animation or just fantasy, animated fantasy stuff, you're gonna have fun with this. It's gonna be a good time. It was actually a pleasant surprise, quite honestly. That like I said, I took a chance on it. I was just did it on a whim, and I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm a fan. So, yeah, there you go. So, yes, it's definitely worth your time. So, with that said, what else do I have going on this week? Well, tomorrow I'm going to be off because we don't have anything on Wednesdays at the moment. Thursday is the season finale of Peacemaker. Yes, I know. Peacemaker. Friday is going to be Resident Alien, even though last week's episode was very, very polarizing for a lot of people. A lot of people hated last week's episode. I'm just going to say that. I was disappointed by last week's episode. I didn't hate it as much as some people did in the comments. My God. Some people, there was a lot of people that just said they're not watching the series ever again after that. So, um, yeah. Saturday I'm going to be off, and then Sunday will be the Sunday edition of Saturday Morning Blast Off because yes, I'm doing that there. And then Monday I'll be off, and then Tuesday will be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? I don't know what I'm going to do as of yet. I'll figure something out. Um, you like this episode of Resident Alien? Yeah, I wasn't a fan, but some parts of it I liked, but a lot of it I didn't. So yeah. With that said, I'm going to let you guys go for the rest of the night. Thank you to everybody who joined me tonight in the chat. And thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. And if you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, the like button, the share button's right next to it. So just if you can hit that, that'd be great. Also, if you want to know when I'll be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. And I have all the links to my social media and all the links to my pages on there as well. Also, the basically the schedule there also tells you what future stuff is coming up as well. So I have all that stuff on there. With that said, thank you everybody. I'm gonna let you guys go. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may end up, I don't know, having to try and find the light. And the light doesn't want to be found, but it does want to be found because you're the one that's actually blocking it. And, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's involved with that. But anyway, thanks, everybody. I will see you again on Thursday. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care, wear those masks, get those vaccine shots, get those boosters as well. Might as well get the flu shot while you're at it if you haven't already. And stay safe out there, everyone. Thank you. I will see you again on Thursday. Have a good rest of your night. And I'll see you on Thursday. Have a good one, everyone.